Management protocol communication should come from a predictable IP address. I want you to think about a router chassis because this is really the most telling story. Routers can have multiple interfaces, right? They could have some Ethernet connections, some serial connections, and as a result, they're often going to have many different IP addresses. They're going to have an IP address, one for each interface that they own. Now the problem is they will source traffic that is locally generated. They will source it if the router is emanating the traffic. The source IP address will be that of the exit interface that they take. So if this router gets traffic to us, let's say we have a router down here, and that traffic comes from this interface and swings back around again from another router, it's going to have one IP address. Let's call that IP address A. And then if it goes through a different pathway, let's say a pathway, a WAN interface bent on us, and it comes through that serial pathway, well, that's going to have IP address B. And it would be a different IP address altogether if it came another way, and then another way. That's a problem for any management traffic. So what we want to do is we want to say, hey, when you are sourcing communication from this protocol, please source it from loopback 0. Generally, when we control the source IP address of traffic, we're going to not choose a physical interface. We're going to choose a logical interface. We're going to choose one that is consistent. It is operational most of the time. This is a more up than down interface because it is not tied to the physicality of the world and connectivity to a network. And so this is standard practice for any of the usual suspect protocols that is out there for management. HTTP, Simple Network Management Protocol, Network Time Protocol, and it's a good practice. So people often ask, hey, why do we configure loopback interfaces on gear? This is a huge reason, so that we can tie our management protocol activity to a consistent IP address. And, I was talking about a router, but the same is true for a multi-layer switch. You have a lot of SVIs. Each of those SVIs has a different IP address. And so if we send traffic out of an unexpected SVI or a routed interface on the multi-layer switch chassis, you are going to get a different source IP address. So it does apply to routers and multi-layer switches equally.